British Airways announced they were going to start direct flights from St. Louis to London, and we were on the inaugural flight. On April 19th, 2026, history took off from St. Louis. British Airways launched its first ever nonstop flight to London, and we were on it. British Airways announced new direct seasonal flights from St. Louis Lambert International Airport to London Heathrow on October 1st, 2025. The service, operating 4 times a week, began on April 19th, 2026, marking the first nonstop connection between the two cities in over 20 years. We didn't know what to expect when we got to the airport, but on our way, the shuttle driver told us that a lot of people were there, including the mayor, the news, and other media. Since we didn't know what to expect with the check-in process, we got there early. And it's a good thing we did because check-in was long. We probably stood in line roughly 30 minutes waiting to get checked in. As you can see, the line isn't terrible, it just didn't move. We think some people didn't do their ETA prior to checking in. So that was probably the holdup. The ETA is a pre-clearance that you have to do if you're flying to the UK. If you want to see that video, we'll link it for you in the description. Once it was our turn, there was still some sort of hiccup. I was busy filming, so Chris was handling it. After check-in, we went through TSA pre-check, where Chris got stopped and had to have his bag checked. Usually it's always me that gets stopped, and they have to check my bag, but this time it was Chris. We both carry backpacks and always have a lot of electronic equipment, so a lot of times that's what sets off the scanners. I went through first, and here you see me waiting on Chris. He's still in there somewhere. Once Chris was cleared, we were off to our gate. When we reached the gate, like the shuttle driver said, there were loads of people. There was a whole ceremony going on. Local news crews were everywhere. There was a full-on ribbon-cutting ceremony, speeches from airport officials, the cake, and even a life-size Build-A-Bear. Passengers lined up for photos with the bear, and you could tell everyone wanted to capture the moment. We grabbed a picture with our very own St. Louis mayor, Kara Spencer. Boarding started a little later than usual. Not surprising with all the festivities. But once they called our group, the excitement kicked back in. The crew wasn't even there when we got to the gate. They came in a short time later and we all clapped as they walked by. When we got on the plane, the pilot said that they'd never had anyone clap for them before, so it was a treat.
Hello, Questers. Today is a very special day. We are at Lambert Airport for the inaugural flight from St. Louis to London. Everybody waiting so far. We booked these tickets, I don't know, I think last year sometime, so we can be on this flight. It's very important. It's a very important flight for the city of St. Louis. We need more nonstop international flights. The flight is going to be on a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It's going to be, so we're going to show you around the plane a little bit once we get on.
We are about to board in a couple minutes. So this is when we were standing in line waiting to board. You can see they had it decorated with balloons and some of the news crew were filming. Walking on board the plane, we were treated like VIPs.
Thank you.
For you. Have a great flight.
Thank you.
They gave us these custom-made Build-A-Bears that had a t-shirt on that said STL to LHR with jeans and tennis shoes. I thought it was kind of neat. We settled into our seats and got comfortable. The the captain made a special announcement welcoming everybody on board the inaugural flight. The plane for this flight was a Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. It is a mid-sized dual-aisle twin-engine jet and Boeing's most fuel-efficient aircraft to date. With 20% more fuel efficient than the similar-sized commercial jets it is designed to replace. The windows are over 30% larger than those on most similarly sized aircraft, and the brightness can be adjusted at the touch of a button. Serrated edges on the engine reduce the noise levels by up to 60% both in and outside the cabin, making the noise footprint of the 787 family aircraft around 60% quieter than the previous generation of aircraft. It also features raked wingtips to further improve fuel efficiency. Fun fact, the size of the 787 factory is approximately 380,000 square feet, and the 787 flies at Mach 0.85, or about 650 miles per hour. We were in the World Traveler Plus section in seats 48 and 49 A and B, which meant we were between Club World and World Traveler. Our section had a 232 configuration. World Traveler Plus had some nice amenities, including a separate, smaller cabin with wider seats and more legroom, 2 meals and a complimentary bar service, personal entertainment with noise-canceling headphones, an amenity kit made from recycled plastic bottles, access to in-seat power, more free baggage allowance, and priority boarding. And now it was time for takeoff. A little while after takeoff, the beverage service started. I got the citrus twist and Chris got a vodka cranberry. Then it was on to dinner, which consisted of a lentil salad as a starter, and for the main course you had your choice of either pot roast, chicken, or chili. I wanted the pot roast, but by the time they got to us, they were out of it. So we both got the huli huli chicken, which was very good. For dessert, we had a sea salt caramel tart and some cheese and crackers. After dinner, we watched TV for a little while, and then it was time to go to sleep. The next morning, we were in London. This is us in the Heathrow Airport heading to catch the tram, which took us to baggage claim. But first, we had to go through passport control. Then we caught the train, got a taxi, and headed to our hotel. The flight was about 9 hours. We left St. Louis on Sunday night at 9:40 p.m. and got to London on Monday morning at 11:40 a.m. local time. Needless to say, we were beat by the time we got to our hotel. We rested a bit and then we got out to hit the ground running. Make sure you like, subscribe, and more importantly, turn on your notifications so you can watch for our next video where we show you everything we did in our week-long stay in London.